Another new update for GTA Online is here, and Rockstar have finally hit us with some decent payout adjustments. Granted, they're not the absolute peak of all bonuses, but they're certainly a hell of a lot better than the last few weeks. In this weekly money guide, I'll be going over all of the latest changes and showing you how to make some easy solo money along the way. First thing we'll be looking at are the Lamar Contact Missions, which are offering up an impressive 3 times money and RP bonus, which applies to both the original Lamar missions along with the lowrider variants as well. However, if you're rolling solo, you definitely want to stick to the original, as all of the lowrider stuff requires at least 2 people. You can get them kicked off in a number of ways, but the easiest option is over here in the job section of the main menu. As for the original and solo friendly Lamar missions, you've got a choice of 9 in total. You'll get roughly 45 to 60k for finishing each one, which will depend on the difficulty setting and how long it takes to finish. The longer that you spend on the mission, the more you'll get paid, but it gets capped at 15 minutes, so do just keep that in mind. Then you've also got the lowrider variants, which will need at least 2 people to participate. There's 8 of those available, and they'll pay out between 30 and 50k. And finally, we've also got 3 times money and RP on all of the Ron Contact missions as well. I've made a list of all of the missions and how many players are required, with all of the options paying between 45 and 60k for each one. While there might be better money-making options available, if you grind the missions efficiently, you can still make somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 to 300k per hour. And for beginners or people with new characters who don't own a lot of properties yet, that's not too bad at all. Plus, even if you're experienced, that same old grind routine can get a bit boring from time to time, and missions like this are a good way to break it up. Personally, I recommend the original and solo-friendly Lamar missions. I find them a bit more enjoyable than Ron's, and in my experience, they pay a bit more than the lowrider content. But test a few of them out, maybe make yourself a playlist with some of the missions and see which ones you like the best. Next thing on the menu is the Franklin and Lamar Special, known only as Short Trips. They comprise of a series of 3 missions where you and a friend get to play as the dynamic duo themselves, going on an action-packed journey through the streets of Los Santos. Not only are they a lot of fun and bring back some major story mode nostalgia, but they also offer up some bloody decent money as well. Currently on a 2 times bonus, each of the 3 missions will pay out an impressive 100k for every single one, or 125k if you play them on hard mode. And considering they only take 15 to 20 minutes to complete, the pay is really pretty damn good, especially when you consider a new change that was made with the latest update. In the past, you could only access the short trip missions by owning an agency and working your way through the entire Dr. Dre contract. Not only did that make the price of entry quite expensive, but it also meant that you couldn't play them until you'd finished all of the setups and finales. But now, thanks to the change I mentioned, you can access them directly through the jobs menu we looked at before. Simply come over to the same mission tab as last time, and down towards the bottom, you'll see all 3 of the short trips missions listed right there. The best part is, you don't even need to own an agency to participate. Even if you've never touched the Dr. Dre contract in your life, just access this menu and you're all good to go. Only downside is that you'll need one other person to play with, but with the event week bonus, you hopefully shouldn't have too much trouble with matchmaking. The next money-making method is definitely more for the new players than it is for the OGs, which is of course taxi work. This got added back at the start of the year and introduced a simple point A to point B style drop-off system, much like what already existed in single player. Only difference is you don't get the cool encounters where people try to stiff you on the bill. It really is just your basic ass delivery service and nothing else. Normally, it's not really something I'd recommend, but it is worth considering if you're new to the game and need some startup money, especially because it doesn't cost anything to give it a go. Plus, it's also on a 3 times money and RP bonus for the rest of the week, so if you ever wanted to try it, there's never been a better time. You can buy a taxi and call it through Pegasus, but there really isn't any need to do that. Just come over to this location on the map where you'll be given a taxi completely free of charge for you to use until the end of the session. The whole system is pretty basic. Once you trigger the missions, you'll be given a destination on your map for a pickup, and once you collect the passenger, it'll tell you where to drop them off. You'll get a base fare plus a proportionately much larger tip, which will reduce the longer that you take and for any crashes that you have along the way. But do be warned, they do get boring pretty fast, and even with the 3 times bonus, the money still leaves a bit to be desired. But if you want to try something different, or you've got a new character that needs a jump start to their criminal career, then jump on in and make yourself some quick cash to get you on to better things. As for game modes, there's only one bonus, but fortunately it's been applied to Sumo Remix, which is one of my favourites. It's on 2 times money for the rest of the week, and it's an absolute cracker of a good time. If you haven't checked it out before, I highly recommend you do. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the latest event week. It might not be massive money, but the old contact missions are honestly pretty fun, and the bonuses make them a lot more worthwhile than they otherwise would be. For anyone who needs a quick recap though, you can see that we've got 2 times money and RP on short trips and Sumo Remix, 3 times money and RP on taxi work, Ron's contact missions, and all of the Lamar contact missions as well, both original and lowrider. Plus, for anyone wanting to get into the old school heists or the air freight business, there's a tasty 40% discount on all apartments and hangar properties. So yeah, the contact missions are definitely a bit of a throwback to the older days of GTA Online, and I'm all for it, but I really do hope that we get some overdue business bonuses in the coming weeks. If you found this video useful though, tapping the like button down below would certainly be appreciated. And if you're new to my content, be sure to go ahead and subscribe as well. I create weekly money guides every time a new update goes live, and you don't want to miss out on all of my top-notch tips and techniques. But until we meet again, you bunch of legends, I am Red Nitrate, and I'll catch you on the next one.